Hi, and welcome back to the Awaken Your Wise Woman podcast. I'm your host, Biz Cush, and I'm super excited to share this previously recorded conversation, but the podcast is on a break. We are taking a break for the summer, which we have been doing for the last few years to give me a chance to regroup, reframe, reset, and come back fresh with new guests and a new focus for the next season. But I wanted to let you know that my sensitive, strong, and unstoppable group for women, highly sensitive women, starts in September. And right now I am offering 10% off the total price if you book a 30-minute call with me before the end of August. It's my way of celebrating my birthday, which is in August, and Virgo season with you. So if you're interested in being a part of a group with other like-minded women who are sensitive, who get what it means to be highly sensitive, to find support there, but also just to be a part of our gathering, I would love to have you. There will be time for sharing. There will be time for getting to know each other. There will be time for learning and reflecting on what we're learning. But most of all, it's a space to gather that is safe, that is sensitive to your needs, and with other sensitive women. So what's better than that? I would love to have you, and I hope you'll check it out. You can go to elizabethcushcoaching.com to find out more about the group, and I would love to have you book a call with me to see if the group is right for you. I also wanted to let you know that I have a free Navigating Friendships in Midlife guide for you. If you're interested in building new friendships and seeking out new friends at this time in your life, you can go to my website or go to freeguide.elizabethcush.com. That's freeguide.elizabethcush.com. And now I'm going to reshare my episode on friendships in midlife, because finding and building new friendships in midlife is not an easy task. And if you are a subscriber to my newsletter or have followed me here on the podcast before, you'll know that this is a journey that I am taking with you. If you are also exploring and looking for and building new friendships in midlife. So here is an episode that was recorded last October, and I think that it still holds lots of truth and resonance. Here we go. I've been thinking a lot about friendships and finding new friends in midlife, finding new friends as women. There have been, interestingly, a lot of conversations in my circle of friends, my circle of business associates, about how do we make friends as adults or even as therapists in particular, when so much of our job is spent alone, one-on-one with our clients, and being an online therapist and an online coach. So much of my time is spent at home alone, of course, with my dog Elvis, but I have struggled to make new friendships in really more in person. I have a lot of wonderful friends that I've made over the last couple of years online, which is amazing. But sometimes friendships and partners and our acquaintances shift and change over the years. And part of that might be through your own healing and growth. Part of that might be circumstantial, like maybe you moved and went to a different place and now your friends are not nearby. Some of my struggle is my a good friend and my sister are in different time zones. So talking to them regularly can be a challenge because we're so many hours apart. But I think what I really wanted to explore was why it is sometimes we find we need to move away from a friendship or a partnership in our lives when at one time it felt just right. At one time it felt enough. I've also heard from clients and friends some confusion around why was I attracted to this friend or partner who really was not good for me? Like what draws me to people like this again and again? And I know that can feel very confusing, especially if you're working to take better care of yourself and be in relationship with people who do nourish and nurture you. But sometimes it's because these younger parts of us that haven't healed fully are searching out relationships that feel similar to ones that we've had in the past. And that oftentimes they get attracted to people who might have wounded us because they're hoping that this could be the redo. This could be a way to heal those wounds if we can have this relationship go differently. That these parts are looking to heal through the relationships. And that's a tough place to go because oftentimes if we are being attracted to or drawn into the circle of people who repeat those wounds, it just leaves us in a way like stuck in that place in the past because we keep feeling those wounds again and again and again. And the people aren't changing and they're not supporting us in the way we had hoped and they're not giving us what we need. Those parts, especially giving those parts what they need, which then activates all the other parts, the defensiveness, the angry parts, the pissed off parts, the parts that want to just use substances or dissociate or use other means to not feel the pain of that relationship. A good example of that is if you grew up in a home with emotionally unavailable parents, you may be drawn to partners or friends who are also emotionally unavailable. So this constant striving to be seen, to be heard, to have your feelings validated just don't happen. And the wounds continue to accumulate and the defensive strategies and protective parts of us get more activated, and it just leaves us in this cycle of not healing. And what I've found through my own work and through conversations with clients and other therapists and other healers is that what our wounded parts and our childlike parts really need is for that love and care and that healing to happen within us. That we get to do the redo. We get to meet those parts that wanted love or validation or their emotions accepted and held and met with compassion, that can come from us. That redo can happen within our own system of parts and ourself. Healing those relationships, healing the hurt. If we can meet those parts with care and compassion and kindness, and the parts that protect them, the healing can begin. And I know I have parts that just want the healing to happen fast. Let's get this done. Let's make it happen. Let's feel better. Let's move on. And oftentimes it takes time because those wounds have developed over years. And some of the wounds we've held with us for our whole life. And so sort of peeling back the layers, working with the parts that have developed to protect those wounds takes time and gentleness and patience and consent from those parts that have been protecting the wounds for such a long time. And oftentimes, as we unfold and untangle what's been happening over the years and years and years, other parts show up and different wounds. And so it is a beautiful unfolding process, and it's not always linear. It's not always quick, and it happens. And it's lovely and beautiful. And that healing can happen in relationship with yourself, but it's also super important to have someone there as a supportive presence, because it's hard to do the work on your own. It's really hard. So having a guide, a coach, a mentor, a therapist that can be with you in that process is really important. It just gives us that space to be held on a deeper level, I guess, and to be seen in that healing, which is amazing. And as we heal and grow, sometimes the relationships that we're in that maybe weren't as healthy for us, those change and shift too, because we're in a different place. And probably our needs have changed because we are in that different place. If we're taking care of ourselves, we're no longer looking to others to heal those old wounds, those childlike parts that we've carried for a long time. And that can be hard too, if some of those friendships fall away. And some may deepen. Some friendships may deepen, or new friendships may appear and develop because of this new space that you're in. But when they do fall away or transition, that can be really hard. I know grieving relationships that no longer meet our needs is real. But when we can see the unhealthy patterns that we were repeating, or the unhealthy relationships that we continued to be drawn to, if we can see them with a more compassionate eye to say, okay, that friendship has shifted and changed, and can I meet them in a new place? Can I meet them from this place, from my heart? And if you're meeting them from this new place, from your heart, and they can no longer meet you there, maybe it's time for that relationship to change, to shift. And that could be so, so scary, especially in midlife. Losing a friendship is really hard, because to develop those lifelong friends can be a little bit scary. So be gentle with yourself around this process. It's really, really important. Be gentle. I know that I'm in a phase of bringing forth or manifesting or being open to new relationships, new friendships with women. And it's interesting how that's developing. Some old friends are coming back into my life in new ways. And some friendships that I considered almost peripheral or maybe business relationships are developing into more personal relationships. And I look forward to continuing to see this process unfold and untangle. Well, I hope that was meaningful to you. If you do want to find out more about the group that's coming up this September, Highly Sensitive Women's Group, the Sensitive, Strong, and Unstoppable Group, I would love to talk to you. Love to have you get on a call with me to find out if this group is right for you. So book a call with me. Again, go to my website, elizabethcushcoaching.com. And email me and I'll send you the link to get on a call with me. Hope you're having a great summer. The podcast will be back with new episodes and new interviews in September.